Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your home is going into foreclosure and you feel like a financial wreck. You don't know where to turn for accurate information. I'm bankruptcy attorney Travis Gagne. Let's talk about some legal options. If we work quickly, we can propose a plan to save your home, modify the loan, or in many cases even eliminate your second mortgage. The consultation is free. I've helped hundreds of people just like you make informed decisions about whether to save their home or exit it on a reasonable, organized timeline. The chapter you choose sets the tone for the next chapter of your life. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle. We got our Loud and Local Band of the Week. This week, it's Slumberbox. Local Band of the Week, Slumberbox. You want to find out where they're playing, find out how you can get some music?
Oh, these guys, I'm not really playing anywhere right now, but hopefully very soon. I was just looking at their Facebook page, and hopefully be able to see a show with these guys in the near future. My buddy Eric is in the band, which I was pretty stoked to see.
Nice.
He used to be in a band called Kane Hodder, and they go way back, Sorority House Rejects, but I'm really digging this new band that he's a part of.
And if you love local music, we've got 2 solid hours every Sunday night at 10 o'clock. It's called Loud and Local. Great Pacific Northwest music. Bands like Slumberbox. Oh, yeah, buddy.
Yeah, it's a great Friday.
Oh, man. I mean, coming off Seahawks victory.
Yeah, we don't have to worry about any more sports ball this weekend because it's already happened.
No, dude, we're watching other games.
Yeah.
Go Lions. That's right. Go Lions, man. If the Lions can pull that kind of an upset, it gives us 2 things. It shows us that maybe the Panthers aren't that good, and secondly, gets us closer to a playoff spot.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Sweet.
I'm excited, man. This could be a hell of a run. I mean, if it doesn't happen, of course, the chances, look, we know what the chances are it can't happen. But imagine this run if they just go and run the table. What a season.
I just think it's funny with each win. Hopefully they win. Just the excitement of every game. It feels like every game, like they say on the TV, and like we've talked about it, every game feels like a playoff game. And watching that game yesterday certainly felt that way because you knew if this game does not end the way we want it to, the season's pretty much done.
How are you guys going to handle those stress levels, though?
By eating.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's what I did.
Rubbing my dog's belly.
I don't know if you saw my tweet. I even had an alcoholic beverage.
I saw you boozing it up on the Snapchat.
Yeah, Sarah, Johnny Rubbers, and I, we decided to put both TVs on. We had a 2-TV situation going on.
I saw you rocking the Heritage Distilling with brown sugar bourbon.
Oh, yeah, BSB.
So good. Nice. So now, was it stress drinking or was it just to have some fun?
Well, it starts to have fun, but then as that game went on, I think I took a sip and we fumbled.
Oh, gosh.
And I'm just like,
tradition's over. Put that away.
I'm stress drinking right now.
It's funny how you get superstitious because I got up just once, besides to go to the bathroom, but I got up to go let Lulu out, and that's when they scored a touchdown, the Packers. I'm like, that's it. I'm not taking Lulu out for the rest of this game.
Yeah.
The dog's like, what did I
bad
do?
luck. Yeah. No, my wife could do it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Perfect. All right.
It's clearly hinging on me watching the game that they do well.
Totally. Let's get to our contestant today. We've got Nolan and Everett. Nolan, are you there, sir?
I'm here, Rev.
Excellent. What's he playing for today, Steve?
Tickets to check out Iron Maiden. They're going to be at the Tacoma Dome on September 5th. Tickets for that show go on sale today at 10 a.m. through Ticketmaster.com.
All right, Steve, get out of here. For those playing at home, Nolan will have 60 seconds to answer 10 questions. Nolan, you can pass all you want, but you will only get 3 guesses per question. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
In the card game Bridge, what is considered the highest of the 4 suits?
Pass.
In what board game do you remove butterflies in the stomach?
Operation.
Yes. What beer is known as the champagne of beers?
Miller Lite.
No.
Miller.
No.
Budweiser.
No. What color blazer is presented to the Masters golf winner?
Green.
Yes. What is the second largest country by area in South America?
Argentina.
Yes. Providence is the capital of what state?
Rhode Island.
Yes. What was Walt Disney's first feature-length animated film?
Steamboat Ride Mickey.
No.
Mickey's Boat Ride.
No.
Cinderella.
No. Who directed the 1996 movie Mars Attacks?
Oh, Tim Burton.
Yes. Nick Carter was a member of which boy band?
NSYNC. Backstreet Boys.
Backstreet Boys. How long do rodeo, bull, and bronco riders have to stay on their mounts for?
8 seconds.
Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Correct.
I have a question. Is there just a Miller beer? Like their regular beer is just Miller beer?
He's missing one. Or
No
words, yeah.
No, but that's what I'm saying. But I also think if that's the only one they have, I mean, a lot of people just that I'm having Miller.
But no, they have the one, and then they have different brands. You can't just say the first one.
Yeah. Well, I know. Here's what I know, and that's why I'm asking. I'm not because I always thought there's Miller Lite or just give me a Miller, which was what you're saying. When you say give me a Miller, you're getting a Miller. Well, I can say what it is, a Miller High Life. You're getting. That's what I thought a Miller was a Miller High Life. Is there just a regular Miller beer that's not a Miller Lite?
It just says when I typed in the champagne of beer, it says Miller High Life.
Right. Yeah. Is there just a regular Miller beer? I don't think there is. Which is, I would say, I think nobody calls it Miller High Life. Everyone says give me a Miller.
No, they say give me Miller High Life.
So good to me, BJ.
Dude, I'm just telling you, growing up, I mean, I know it was called Miller High Life, but we all just said give me a Miller. It was either Miller or Miller Lite. But all right, so how many does he have right?
He has 7 correct.
And maybe you guys are now calling it High Life now, but growing up, it was just either Miller or Miller Lite. That's what we said. I know it said High Life, but we never said give me a Miller High Life in my day.
I'm not allowing it.
All right. So what did he get right? 7?
He got 7 correct.
I'd love to know from texters if, in fact, maybe
go to the texters.
Well, it's generational.
Let's go to the peanut gallery. They'll always go with.
I'm not trying to make you wrong. I want to know if it's a generational thing.
Wrong.
No, I want to know if it's generational. I really do. I mean, what do I care?
Guy over here.
I mean, I'll give a guy a prize if I want to give a guy a prize.
I know you will. That's the problem with this game. You're ruining the integrity of our fine game.
You ruin the integrity of humanity, and I still allow it.
Rude.
Yeah.
Steve, are you ready?
Oh, yeah!
I am now.
In the card game Bridge, what is considered the highest of the 4 suits?
Hearts.
No.
Diamonds.
No.
Clubs.
No.
Spades?
Yep.
Of course it is.
In
The
what
Ace of Spades is the fanciest looking card.
Ace of Spades.
In what board game? In what board game do you remove butterflies in the stomach?
Operation.
Yes. What beer is known as the champagne of beers?
Miller High Life.
Yes. What color blazer is presented to the Masters golf winner?
Green.
Yes. What is the second largest country by area in South America?
Huh?
What is the second largest country by area?
Brazil.
No.
Spain.
No.
Antigua.
No. Providence is the capital of which state?
Rhode Island.
Yes. What was Walt Disney's first feature-length animated film?
Fantasia.
No.
Funtasia.
No.
Mickey and Minnie Go to Dallas.
No. Who directed the 1996 movie Mars Attacks?
Ooh, Stanley Kubrick.
No.
John Holmes.
No. Well, I guess it didn't matter a little argument there because, Steve, you lose 4-7.
Yeah. Love that. So our guy left us, so he'll have to call him back.
I can call him back.
I love this, which means I get this.
I'm a loser.
Yes, TV.
And I love someone who needs me. I'm a loser. And I'm not what I appear to be.
So what? I mean, I'm looking at a lot of texts right now that have everyone's talking about Miller.
Yeah.
Was there controversy about Miller?
He said Miller Lite, and I said no. And then he said Miller, and I said no.
Okay.
Because he didn't say Miller High Life.
And I was telling him
champagne of beers.
And I was telling him in my day, you either got a Miller or a Miller Lite. We never said give me a Miller High Life. It was like give me a Miller or give me a Miller Lite.
What about MGD?
Oh, genuine draft.
This was before MGD was even a thing.
But that doesn't matter now.
That's what I'm saying. Is I think that there's no regular Miller. It's just a regular Miller is a Miller High Life. That was their first beer.
No, you got to differentiate.
Like a Budweiser. A Budweiser, the regular Budweiser is just called a Budweiser.
Right.
And
Not
the Miller
Budweiser High Life.
Yeah, exactly. And the regular Miller beer is the Miller High Life. But we all just said, "Give me a Miller," and he said Miller. And there's no regular beer.
See, I can't do anything about this because BJ is not arguing by arguing.
Well, I think Miller
I see
High
what
Life.
BJ's saying.
Miller and Miller High Life are the same beer.
All right, so we have homework. Someone has to go to a bar this weekend and just order a Miller. And see what happens.
All right, Uncle Chris says he has the answer.
Do we have any bartenders?
All right.
That listen? They're probably not up.
They're probably not up.
Uncle Chris, are you going to come in the room? You're making moves. If you have an answer, come in the goddamn studio.
Wow, you don't have to get so aggressive about that.
He's really aggressive now about this.
Well, I said his name, and I'm assuming he has an answer.
I'm sorry, I was volunteering for the assignment that you were passing out.
Yeah,
I wasn't saying the thumbs up is I have the answer. Sorry.
Oh,
I didn't mean to mislead you. I was just raising my hand saying I'll go to a bar and drink a lot of beer.
You and Rev are fired.
That was the vibe I got from that hand going.
Actually, you know what, Chris, you're still hired, but you have to escort Rev out of the building.
Yay!
Yeah, well, I'm gassy, so watch out for that.
So what I'm asking you, Steve, is do you remember people just asking for a Miller?
Oh God! All right,
I honestly don't know.
Yeah.
I honestly don't know. I never paid attention because I never ordered a Miller High Life. Like if I go to a house party and they've got Miller, I'm drinking it. Ted Smith would be a good person to talk about that because he loves Miller Lite.
See, Rev doesn't drink beer, so he doesn't know or care. But I think when you're talking about like a Miller, I think we all know a Miller is a Miller High Life.
One texter brings up a good point. We should quote the Beastie Boys from 1986 where it says, Miller should be accepted because they say Mike in my hand and a mouthful of Miller.
Yeah, and this is what my problem is if Rev would just go, I have no idea because I really don't drink a lot of beer, so I don't know the terminology. Because I never heard anybody in my generation say Miller High Life. They've always just said, hey, give me a Miller.
I love that this is leading to a meltdown amongst the show right now.
Well, it is for Rev.
The Miller drama.
Well, just because he doesn't like to say he doesn't know and he's wrong. He just gets mad because he's like, are you nitpicking? It's like, well, you just don't know.
I like how you to slide in that he doesn't know and he's wrong.
It's totally wrong. He's totally wrong. That Miller is Miller High Life. That's it. I mean,
is it?
Yeah. There's no like regular Miller. There's no beer called just Miller and then Miller High Life, then MGD, then Miller Lite. A Miller High Life is a Miller.
But what if somebody orders a Miller and then the bartender could easily think it's either Miller High Life, Miller Genuine Draft, or Miller Lite?
Yeah, I think if you, but
so
everybody
he'll be like, well, what kind of Miller do you want? And then you have to specify. You can't be like, well, I want the Miller. He's not going to know what you mean.
Oh, dude, everybody knows you want an MGD. You say MGD, and everybody knows you say Miller Lite. I mean, the commercials and everything. Who doesn't know that?
Well, one texter says that I would think MGD is Miller.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, you're wrong.
Why are they wrong and you're right? This is based on opinion. How are you right?
Because back in my day, it was Miller Lite, and I think MGD came third.
How many Millers were drank when they invented the wheel back in your day?
Oh, back then it was just called a mill. We were living just the life. You know what I mean? It was just Miller the life, and then it became the High Life.
But you're just saying because you're shortening Miller that everyone's going to know that means it's High Life. Whereas I'm looking at text and a lot of people are saying I would think Miller Genuine Draft if you just said Miller. Yeah, another person says I'm a bartender. Yeah, and if someone said Miller, I'd say what kind.
I can appreciate that now. I can appreciate that now. So
what are we doing? Beat Migs based on the 40s or beat Migs based on 2018?
Well, I feel like that's why I asked Rev. And the original question to him before he went out of his mind, it's like, I want to know if it's generational. I think my generation knows to me that Miller means Miller High Life, but obviously to that bartender and people younger, they don't. That's not their world. It needs specification. But a Miller was always a Miller High Life in my day. But I get
this
it now.
Text. Jesus, enough with the effing Miller.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
I agree.
But that is the thing about life, though. Depending on what generation you're from, things do mean different things. And I think that stuff always fascinates me, how different generations will just go, oh, I don't know something as that. I always want to go back to Boston. I wonder if they still call soda tonic and all those things we used to do. I wonder if when you get an influx...
Most of the people your age aren't alive anymore, so I don't know if you can find out.
You're right. I hadn't thought about that.
I don't know, man. I mean, but you got to get with the Joneses. You got to change with the times.
Hey, we're not talking soda. We're talking beer.
Oh.
See what I did there? Thanks, buddy. You too? Et tu, Brute?
Yes.
All right, fine.
Never wanted a Miller more in my life.
I want 10, and I don't like beer.
What would you like? You got to specify.
No, you figure it out. You should know. You should know.
You just actually
I
said,
want a Miller.
You got it. You're getting a High Life, baby.
I don't want that.
Now, did we talk about this before, that they're putting them in champagne bottles?
No, we haven't.
Isn't that cool?
That's funny.
Yeah, I mean...
It's about time they embrace the whole champagne of beers thing and turn them into... I mean, it's only in the title.
And I heard somebody say something during the World Series, and I don't know if you know this as much as I do, that when we see them spray the hell out of those bottles, they take the champagne in those fancy bottles and replace it with beer. Do we know that to be a thing as well? And so they're going to release Miller High Life in champagne bottles, which is kind of cool.
So they're like little mini champagne bottles, or are they full-size champagne bottles? Because I think it'd be awesome if they were little mini-looking champagne bottles.
I feel like seeing all those glasses that they have there, it looks like that's a bigger bottle than just one.
Well, it says they're $3.49 a pop, so I'm guessing it's the size of a beer bottle.
Oh.
Does it have any ounces on it?
I can't see. I will see.
And they serve them in these little fancy goblets. I'm noticing that they're doing that, too, because it is the champagne of beers. But did you guys know that about, like, when you see celebrations in the locker room, that they have them in champagne bottles, but they replace the champagne with beer, so they're not wasting all that. I heard somebody
Why don't
say
they just get cheap champagne? Like
I know.
Some Andre or something like that.
I heard some baseball announcer, like, while they were covering the post-game coverage.
No, that can't be true, because a lot of times they're popping them.
See, I know.
That's not true. That's someone messing with you.
I gotta know. But you know what? Hold on a second. They pop it, Steve, but if you notice, they shake the bottles to get that spray. So I never necessarily see all of them pop it where the foam comes out like a champagne foam. So I would like, if anybody from the Mariners we should know what we should ask Ryan Rowland-Smith if we get a chance to.
So that's what we're going to do. We're going to get a former Mariner player on just to find out the authenticity of the champagne. He didn't win. He played for the Mariners. He wasn't popping any champagne.
You're right. That would be cruel. That would be a very cruel question to ask him.
And the Miller High Life champagne ones are 750 milliliters.
Yeah. Which is what? How high?
That's a big bottle.
It's a big bottle.
Okay. I don't know my milliliters.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Somebody says that they have little mini... Oh, they're already shaped like mini champagne bottles. So then now they have the big ones. Okay, that's cool. Again, I'm not like a big Miller guy. I don't drink a ton of Miller.
Yeah, no, I used to back in my day. That's all we had. We're just Miller and Budweiser. There was no other beer.
But I would deny having it served in one of those glasses.
Oh, you wouldn't do
I don't drink Stella ever. And I'm not saying Stella's a bad beer. I just don't like that it has its own fancy glass.
I love the Stella glass.
Man, it just seems so like pretentious looking. Like, oh, I got my own fancy glass. See, I just rather just give me a regular pint glass.
Honestly, I want you to
or a
do
bottle.
That.
And I'll just drink it out of the bottle.
I agree with that completely.
Oh no, I'm going to give Steve that glass just so he uses that voice when he talks to us. Hi, how are you?
Oh, look at me! I got my Stella.
Yeah. I like a glass. I really like the mug out of the freezer. I mean, a beer in one of those frozen mugs.
But that's not a specific mug meant for just one type of alcohol.
True. You're right.
Yeah, frosted pint glass is the best.
Yeah, those are awesome.
And it's funny with Stella too, because they're like, oh, it actually makes the beer taste better. If it's not in one of these glasses, then it's not going to taste the exact same way. And it's like, really?
Yeah. See, I don't know
how much of a difference.
I don't understand
there's not that much of a difference.
I doubt there's any difference. But if there was, how much of a difference?
I know in the world of wine, the shape of a glass or the shape of the decanter or something like that. I know that even though I'm wine stupid, they say that does something for the flavor. But I don't know about beer if that's the same thing. All right, it's time for listeners on the loose. You know what? You run this damn show. Enough talk about Miller High Life. You pick the topic. You guide the show at 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999. Your calls, your texts at 917 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. It's Listeners on the Loose, brought to you by the Shane Company. Listeners on the Loose, where you pick the topic, you guide the show. 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999. Whatever it is that you wish to talk about, you get to do it, man. Whatever the subject matter is, it's all up to you. But do remember that when you're speaking, when you're yakking, Steve has a rule.
Show some energy and bring it. Otherwise, BJ, we're going to have to dong them. And then say goodbye.
Goodbye, old friend.
Just like that.
We got a text message where someone says, since you knuckleheads like to argue over dumb stuff, like me, what do you think? Are Oreo cookies black or brown?
Wow, there's a controversy. Well, there is. It's funny. I'm sure he saw this on social media because there's been a debate on social media.
I've seen
about
that
this
as well. Yes.
Yeah, and the thing is because it all started because someone noticed a line from the official Oreo website from their parent company Mondelez, and quote, they said, "We do not have a color assigned to the cookie portion of an Oreo. Some people think the Oreo is a shade of brown, while others view the color closer to black." So the question is, all right, well, what is it?
Well, clearly we need some in order to have this decision be really finalized. But
double stuff, please.
I'm going dark brown.
Well, you wouldn't be completely wrong because they say they're made from cocoa beans, which, of course, are brown. But the cocoa is processed with alkali, which darkens the powder a lot. In fact, cocoa powder with alkali is often called black cocoa powder. So I think that's where you're getting it. I think you're probably, getting the black brown. It's just a really, really dark blackish brown.
Dude, it looks brown, man. Come on. That's
brown for sure. Yeah.
Why are people even having this argument? This is as dumb as a whole Miller Lite conversation.
Yeah, in that picture there, it surely does look brownish. But I've seen Oreos where I've opened them up, dude, and if you would have asked me, I would have told you black. I mean, if you say, without seeing that picture, I would have said, oh, they're black.
Let's look at well, then you got the packaging. See? On some of the packaging, it looks brown. Why are they doing this to us, man?
Because they want us to buy Oreos.
I just did a Google image search, and there are it goes back and forth just as I'm looking, and I just put in Oreos. I didn't put any color differential or anything like that. And there's some one right next to black one looks brown, so I'm just going to say burnt brown.
Is it like the pink sneaker and the dress? What color is the Oreo? I mean, is that Oreo?
It's teal and pink. Yeah,
kind of. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It's brown. It's chocolate. If it's chocolate, it's brown.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah. But it's cocoa flavored, but it's black cocoa powder because of the alkali.
Yeah.
So there you go, Danny.
Still chocolate.
If it's black, it's Cajun then, because that's Cajun style.
Oh, Cajun spice.
It's more crisp. Yeah.
Oh, I haven't tried a Cajun Oreo. I'm willing to try anything.
Have you ever had the Oreo ice cream sandwich?
Oh, yeah, a long time ago. It's been a while. Again,
they should make them the size of the actual Oreo. I think these things are bigger.
Good call.
Like little bites, almost like bonbons.
Good call.
That'd be awesome.
That's a great idea, actually.
All right, I'll work on that.
Yeah, so
let me call Oreo.
Let me go to David in Redmond. 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999. It's listeners on the loose. David, you are on the Rock.
Hey, BJ.
Hey, David, what you got for us, buddy?
Went to the game last night.
How's your voice?
Oh, dude, it hurts, man. It hurts to talk.
Yeah, well, you did a good job last night, except for some reason we were the ones getting all the false starts, but good job anyway.
That's because the Packers were cheating.
We tried.
Yeah, I know. There was. It's interesting hearing the guys talk about that, and then after on Seahawks game day with Aaron, and by the way, Cliff Averill. I think the first time I've seen him on game day. Good job by Cliff.
Yeah, Cliff is great, man.
Yeah.
He does a great job just talking about. Obviously, he's 1 foot out the door, or both feet out the door now. But you know what I mean. Like he knows those guys. A lot of the players on the team he played with. He knows Pete.
Yeah, I do love that. I love it when you get a player that's as closely removed as Cliff Averill is, and of course Dave Wyman. I give him props too. He did a great job, and they were talking about the tricky things that the Packers were doing to get us to jump off sides.
And I felt like that must have been the case because it wasn't one player. Like at first when you saw Ifedi get it, you're like, oh no, come on, Ifedi, you've been killing it this season. Like don't fall back into the penalties. But then all of a sudden, Fant got one, and I think Sweezy got one as well. And then they started talking about how they think that they're getting screwed with by the Packers, but they figured it out. They fixed it. I thought the coaching staff did a great job with just all the adjustments, especially after being down 14-3 at the beginning of the game.
They're the kings of that.
Yeah, it was an awesome game. It really was an awesome game to watch.
And how was it for you? I mean, geez, like I said, I had put I made myself a nice alcoholic beverage, and before I even got it to my lips, our ball is on the ground and in Packers' hands.
I didn't really buy any alcohol at the game. I did a lot of pre-gaming though. It was a lot of fun. It was my first Seahawks game that I've ever been to.
Oh wow, dude! Congratulations. Yeah. Are you from here originally?
Yeah, no, I grew up in Sammamish, and Seahawks are my team.
What a great first game to go to.
Man, how old are you, bud?
I'm 27.
Wow, 27 years being in this area, being a Seahawks fan, you finally got to your first game. All right, so everybody talks about it. They hype it up whenever it's a national game on TV, just about how crazy it is. What was your experience?
It was loud, man. We had to get earplugs. And, it was unbelievably loud.
All right, more importantly,
it was everything that I wanted it to be. So yeah.
What kind of concessions did you get while you were there?
Very important.
Good question.
Garlic fries. garlic fries, dude.
Yeah, they are the hit.
Overrated.
Whoa!
Wow.
Steve.
Oh, dude.
Dude, I think they smell like heaven on earth. And obviously their French fries are fine, but I feel like it's just too much garlic on French fries.
Oh, you can never have too much garlic on anything.
I agree with Rev on this one.
Whoa.
Yeah, I know. It never happens.
I hope you guys choke on a Miller Lite. And
Wow. Let's see how that's going to be. David, thanks for the call, man.
That's awesome.
Glad you had a great first game. That's awesome.
And how about, what is it about the Seahawks and the Packers that no game can end without a little controversy?
Yeah.
Because you think about, that Tyler Lockett catch, they kept looking at it over and over again. Was it a complete pass or was it not? Obviously that's up for debate, but a lot of the people were thinking that was not a complete pass, and Seahawks dodged a bullet by getting the next playoff before they could challenge it. Or obviously the Packers didn't want to take the chance of challenging it because they only had one timeout left.
That's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
So for whatever we did that caused the Packers to have to take those 2 timeouts, in the second half as early as they did,
that was huge.
That did allow that Tyler Lockett play not to be reviewed. And frankly, it took a few views for them to finally get the one that showed the ball scrape the ground. Because every view I saw, and I'm imagining that the people upstairs for the Packers are also looking at all the views, and they probably thought, I can't see anything to show me because the Packer defender's head was in the way right when we could see. Then they finally did get that one shot where like, oh damn, we just dodged a bullet.
And I'm glad also that they were able to take back and actually say it was a completed pass for David Moore, because I had to take back all the awful things I was saying about him, because I was like, he's just become like Brandon Marshall. He can't seem to catch a pass nowadays.
Yeah.
And then I was like, yes, that was so huge.
Yeah, it was, and I just assumed that's exactly what it was a completed pass. So when there was any controversy, I said, look, I'm an idiot and I don't know anything about the NFL, but haven't they talked about this? And they said this year, this is what a completed pass looks like. You make a football move and you've got the ball. So I'm like, why are we still having a hard time with this? And of course, it turned out to be exactly that. It's like he caught the ball, made a move, he had possession, then he went and said, hey, you know what? I'm going to play volleyball and just knock it out of bounds.
One person says, without thinking about it, I went to a game at 20 weeks pregnant, and I bundled my poor tummy so that my baby's eardrums wouldn't burst. Awesomely loud.
Yeah. It's an amazing thing to be part of when you're there and you hear that and you go, holy crap, they are not kidding. This place is nuts.
I love the guy that they had doing the 12th man flag, the dude from the military.
Oh, yeah.
That guy was cute as all. I don't know if he wants me to see he's cute, but he was an old man, so it was cool to see him just there waving the flag and just the crowd. That must be an experience. I would love to just be on that podium. I don't have to raise the 12th man flag. There's no reason they would ever ask me, but it'd be cool to be part of someone's entourage so you could just be there to see that view.
It's a fun, magical moment where it's become something really, really special in sports, and that is the raising of that flag and what the fans mean to the team and the history of us almost losing the team, and the great contribution of Paul Allen by keeping the team here and then giving us really 3 championship caliber teams where going to 3 Super Bowls. It's a special thing. I'm with you. I would just love to be up there and just see what that feels like.
It's weird. I don't know, man, about the whole thing of showing footage of Paul Allen. It kind of got, I was like, ooh, I wasn't expecting it when they showed. Obviously I get why they were showing it, but it was just like, oh man, whoa, wait, what kind of weird world am I in for a second?
Yeah, you're right, because it wasn't too long ago where he was raising the flag, and so
texts are coming in. Totally agree with you, Steve. Steve is right about the garlic fries. I agree with Steve 100% on the garlic fries.
There's a lot of battling today.
Worst texters ever.
Yeah. I don't see anyone talking about how awesome the garlic fries are except for you and Danny. I think you get it once and then you realize you made a bad mistake, and then you never get them again.
You know what you need to do is you need to put ranch on them, and then also maybe some cheese sauce, and it's just
get
the best
cheese sauce. That's
ever.
solid. Yeah.
Well, cheese on fries is never a bad move.
All of the above.
Yeah.
It makes them amazing. Plus all that garlic.
And I always get ranch for my French fries, so I did do that.
Okay. Well,
didn't do anything.
Look,
I'll be perfectly honest. We go absolutely crazy with garlic in our household. So yeah.
It's funny because look, Steve and I, we come from Italian families, though. We're not strangers to garlic, but I hate to agree with Steve. I think it's just a bit much. I feel like I'd have to get garlic light. When I get the garlic fries, I think I would say, just, you know what, give me half of whatever you would put on there.
Give it to me.
The problem is they smell so awesome, and they're not as awesome as they smell.
Maybe you guys are just vampires.
Ooh, I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah, that never really crossed my mind, but I'll think about it this weekend.
I'm going to go get a test done. Thanks, Danny.
You're welcome.
Somebody said that anyone yell P-Hawks in the bathroom.
Oh, that's right. I forgot that's your new thing.
Damn it. We didn't ask that guy.
I should have yelled it at my house at least.
Yeah. Maybe Johnny Roberts would have said Hawks.
Yeah, I should have done it. You pick the topic. You guide the show. It's listeners on the loose, 206-421-ROCK. You can also text us at 77999. Your calls, your texts at 933. on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. It's listeners on the loose. You pick the topic, you guide the show. Steve, it's been a long time since we heard from this gentleman. I think he's been on the run because of the current political climate. It's the Radical Russian.
Good morning, BJ. Good morning, boys. Mix, how are you doing?
This has been quite. I mean, dude, you have been off the radar for a long time.
You know why he's back?
Why is this?
Creed 2 in theaters.
Oh, right.
This weekend.
Wow, really? Creed 2 this weekend?
Yes.
Damn. Wow.
You know, I've been making excuses every time. BJ Mix, I'm sorry I failed you. I have not downloaded the new radio app to listen to you guys from out of Washington.
Oh, radio.com.
So you just forgot about us. I see how it is.
Oh, boy.
Yes.
Well, I appreciate you admitting it.
Every time I go to listen, I'm trying to listen to you guys on the BJ and Mix or on the 99 KISW app, and I'm like, click it, and then it shows me this other link, and I'm like, oh, no, I'm too tired for this.
Oh, boy.
And it's next weekend, Creed 2, sorry.
Oh, well, damn it. I just made plans, Steve.
Well, cancel them.
Oh, you are. You know, I'm telling you, between you and Rad Rush, I just don't know what to say anymore. So, Radical Russian, now that you're back, even though we have a tense political climate, I mean, I have no idea if you've been the one that's been messing with all these election things going on and all the problems in Georgia and Florida with counting ballots. I have no idea. I blame you. I blame Russia. But at least you're back. What are you doing? What do you got for us?
You know, blame me all you want, BJ. I'm going to give you something good to put on your holiday table, okay?
Oh, now this is something we can all agree on.
Of course. Now we're talking food, no politic. Okay, no politic. We talk Thanksgiving dinner, BJ.
And there's been a lot of. I mean, we have actually had a politically charged kind of conversation about whether the Thanksgiving cuisine is actually good or not. Anyway, so what do you think is good for the holiday table?
You know, I was thinking to myself the other day to do something that my grandma would probably kill me if she knew that I was going to take the cheese and potatoes out of her pierogi. Mm-hmm. I decide, you know, what if I make some pierogi? So I tried it the other day. I chop up some uli sausage.
Oh,
and
sounds good.
And I fried it with just not too much garlic, because I know Steve doesn't like the garlic on the garlic fries. On the garlic fries, you know. So not too much garlic. A little bit of garlic, a little bit of salt, and then just a little bit of cheese, just to give it some, just to keep the uli sausage together after you chop it up. Fry that up. You stick it in a little bit of flour, egg wrapped the pierogi dumpling, and then you drop those in some boiling water.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely delicious. I think you should put it on your table.
That's, I wouldn't argue if somebody gave me a pierogi for Thanksgiving like that. I wouldn't argue. Brad Rush?
Goodbye, boy.
Goodbye, my friend. Good hearing from you. Sounds like a great combo.
Sounds delicious.
Yeah.
See Uli on he was on a commercial?
Yeah. No.
Oh, man, during the Hawks game, at some point they just cut to some commercial about like small businesses, I believe, and they focused on Uli sausage.
Oh, damn, I missed that.
And there was Uli just doing it up, man. It was awesome.
It was for QuickBooks.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Oh, good for Uli, man. That is so awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, sausage is so good. I want that bacon sausage. I don't know if I've ever had one of their bacon sausages before. That's got to happen.
Well, go get it.
Yeah.
Oh, you may got to go.
Uncle Chris?
Yeah, there you go. Chris. Yeah, come on. What are you talking about?
Adam and Everett, he just chimed in for listeners on the loose. He says, I just tried Aquavit because you talked about it on the Migs cast and also the Mega cast. Loved it. Can't explain it, but it's awesome.
What is this now?
I experienced it for the first time about a month ago. I was at the Normana Lodge in Everett, which is where we had a wrestling event, Without a Cause, which actually I'm going to be there this Sunday. Without a Cause Wrestling. It starts around, I think, 4:30 or 3:30, I think. Sorry. It's an early one. But Normana Lodge in Everett is right by the arena, the Angel of the Winds Arena. And the people that work there, they're like, you got to try, you want to do a shot of Aquavit. And I'm like, I don't even know what the hell Aquavit is. I've never even heard of this. And they show me this bottle, and I'm like, sure, why not? You know, I'll give it a try. And without a doubt, the greatest shot I've ever had in my life. Went down smooth. It was delicious. It was just like, where has this been my whole life?
What kind of spirit is it?
It's a distilled spirit that is, I guess I went online after I had it. I was like, I got to find out what this is about. It's a Scandinavian drink. And it's been around forever, and it's distilled from grains and potatoes. And then you flavor it with a variety of herbs, according to Wikipedia. But yeah, dude, and they have it at like Total Wine. But hey, come down, watch some wrestling and do shots of Aquavit. I think it's going to be a fun time this Sunday. I'll be there.
I bet this has been around. I mean, if it's Scandinavian, Scandinavian. Of course, we have such an influence of Scandinavian in this area, so it's been around probably for a while. How have I not heard of this? So, potatoes vodka is what I think of.
Yeah, that's it right there. It has it's kind of a vodka vibe to it, but it's not vodka.
It's golden too. It looks in color.
And the one they pulled it out of the bar, and it was like frozen. And then the guy that worked there, he made me put on a Viking hat while I did it.
Yes,
which was awesome.
Wow, I have never heard of this. But
everything about it was fantastic.
If you let me put on a Viking hat and take a shot of something that goes down smooth, that's a win.
Yeah, so give it a shot. Aquavit.
Hey, literally.
I'm planning on getting a bottle over it because I was like, this is great. I need to have this in my house.
Don't forget your buddy.
All right.
And get one for me, too.
I was going to say, I'm going to get one for Ted and Vicky.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Why is Vicky your buddy?
Because she is. We both have Foo Fighter shirts.
Okay.
It's a very simple reasoning behind it.
Okay, well, that's all it takes.
We're both buddies with my dad.
That's true. We are both friends with her father.
Okay.
Yeah, so this Sunday, if you want to have some Aquavit with me at the Normanna Lodge for Without a Cause Wrestling, Shatter the System, it's going to start at 3:30 p.m. And if you just type in Without a Cause Wrestling on Facebook or Twitter, you get the information to get tickets.
You are a man about the wrestling town.
This weekend I am.
Seriously, you go all over the place. Anybody that will let you walk in and somehow look at wrestling, be a part of wrestling, you are there. It's amazing.
That's right, brother. This weekend. Tonight, 3-2-1 battle. That's going to be at Evolve Fitness.
You're going to be there, too.
Going to be there. Tomorrow, around 5 p.m., I'm going to be in Marysville for...
Whoa!
Yes.
You are out of control.
That's for Combat Pro Wrestling. I'm wrestling there.
3 wrestling events the Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yes.
And your wife is not saying you have a problem.
Well, I didn't say she doesn't say I have a problem.
Okay, good.
She knew that when she married me, but no, she's excited for me.
Well, I'm happy to hear that. I mean, when somebody has a hobby, because you don't think you're going to be pro, right?
Oh, no, I'm waiting for the WWE to call me, BJ.
Yeah. Well, when somebody has a hobby or likes to go and have fun like that, because you work hard, and I know she works hard too, but that's really cool that she's like behind you like that. I don't know. Look, it took me a long time and having my wife move 2 states away before I could take a whole weekend doing what I want. It's one thing when you have children that you have to take care of.
Right.
And that's a different story. But if it's just you two, that's really cool to go out there and do your own thing.
So Marysville tomorrow, if you do want to come hang out, it's going to be at 5 p.m. at the Living Room Coffee House, where it becomes the Combat Cathedral, brother.
Is that you on the card?
Yes.
Well, you're looking pretty you're looking upset. You look like you're not happy with somebody.
Well, I'm not a nice man.
Yeah, that we know, but what about wrestling?
That's what I'm talking about. I'm the local celebrity from luxurious Puyallup, Washington, DJ.
Yes, you are.
That's what I go by.
Oh, no. A local celebrity from luxurious...
the local celebrity.
The.
Yes.
One and only.
Take it easy. I had no idea. Jeez.
I'm Twitter verified.
Well, you are Twitter verified.
If you don't know it, I have proof.
What are those? Do you actually walk around with those? Those like verified checks? Is that
some people in the audience aren't smart enough to hear my words, so I need to show pictures. So I now have a giant blue check mark to prove that I'm Twitter verified.
You are really.
It adds legitimacy to everything he says.
Thank
really
you,
does, yeah,
brother.
That is, yeah. Well, you are Twitter verified. No. I never
come have some Aquavit with me.
I never thought this would be who I'd be working with him every day of my life. I don't talk about people. I don't talk to people about you.
You don't talk to people?
No, I had lunch with a famous guy actually, and he would say, "Oh, what about you?"
Yeah. Oh, and thank you for the correction. It's Normanna Lodge.
Oh, get out now. Okay.
I'll call it what I want.
That's right, because he's Twitter verified.
That's right. It's fun, right?
I wouldn't mind being there just watching and yelling and screaming like that. That would be fun.
So he says they're Danish family. They do shots of Aquavit on Christmas Day. It's a tradition.
So, yeah, I'm sure that a lot of people here, we know that 50% of the people from the Puget Sound aren't from here originally, so a lot of us don't know about this. But the born and breds probably know completely everything about Aquavit.
Dude, when I was there telling the bartender at the Normanna Lodge, I looked at him and I said, why have you been hiding this from all of us?
Yeah, we don't know. You and I we're the outsiders. I guess you have to do the secret handshake before they give you the Aquavit, man.
Yeah, I'm curious now what you think of it.
Oh, I bet I'll love it. If you think it goes down smooth, because
you know how it is sometimes when someone's like, "Here, have a shot," and you're like, "Oh, what is this?" Because you don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times people are like, "Have a shot." I'm not going to tell you what it is until you have it. And
I don't like that kind of thing.
And then you take the shot, and you're just like, "I just hurled in my own mouth.
Yeah.
This is the worst. Why'd you do this to me?"
Thanks for the monkey sweat. That was great.
So that was kind of the vibe. I'm like, okay, great, fine. And I have it, and I was like, "What was that?"
Yeah. All right. I'm up for it, brother.
Let me keep that Viking helmet.
I'm up for it, brother. All right, here's a big question, okay? As we go into the weekend, we do have to answer this. What do Ryan Castle and Iron Maiden have in common? I'm going to tell you at 9:49 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW. He's the drunk in charge. Now, the Ryan Castle question of the day.
What do Ryan Castle and Iron Maiden have in common?
I'll be at Tacoma Dome in September.
Nice.
I'm also available today at 10.
That's one text says they both go on sale at 10 a.m. this morning.
It's true.
I like this text. Steve has peace of mind as he's a power slave to both at 2 minutes to midnight.
You're my trooper.
That's right. Just call me Eddie. Steve loves to headbang to both.
He does. Yeah, I've seen it.
There's a Dickens joke in here somewhere.
Should be. Must be involved. It was involving apple cider. That's what I'd like to know. Well, I don't know if you've heard this. Bruce Dickinson has said that if the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame ever comes calling for Iron Maiden, he'll slam the door in their faces.
Good for him.
He says, I'm really happy we're not there. I would never want to be there. If we're ever inducted, I will refuse. They won't bloody be having my corpse in there. Now, I love this reason he gives. I mean, it really is like old school rock and roll. He says, rock and roll music does not belong in a mausoleum in Cleveland. It's a living, breathing thing. And if you put it in a museum, then it's dead. It's worse than horrible. It's vulgar.
Def Leppard said that a while back, and then they got nominated. They were like, of course we'll show up.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone's tune changes when they actually get invited.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Meanwhile, Ryan Castle, he's nominated for giving you a 12-pack. That's coming up next.
BJ and Migs play of the day.
Oh, I like Bad Santa, too.
I don't think it's bad.
Yeah.
But if you have to pick between one or two, you're going one all the time.
Well, yeah, it's tough to beat the original. But I have to say, man, there were some great moments in Bad Santa 2 as well. Especially the all-grown-up kid. The kid all grown up, still being the same.
Yeah. He's exactly the same, just taller.
I mean, he's Rev. I look at this kid and
shut up. I knew that was coming.
It's Bad Rev, too. What's that kid's name in the movie? I got to start.
Thurman Merman.
Yeah.
I know.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. He's here right now and has agreed to answer more of your questions about bankruptcy. If I call Travis, will I actually see him or someone who works for him?
Absolutely. When you come in to my office, when you first call in, my staff will try to help you with any basic questions that you have. I can give you a call back, but they'll usually try to schedule you for a free consultation with me, the attorney, and I'll meet with you personally. We'll talk about the basics of your case, and I'll take you through a question and answer session an interview that usually lasts about 30 minutes. We'll get the basics of your financial situation. I can answer your questions, and we can talk about whether bankruptcy makes sense, your non-bankruptcy options, and how bankruptcy could affect you, what the process is.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com. Thanks for listening.